Welcome back. I'm Rain. I'm joined by Ithaca, and we're going to be commentating the match between Make Amarr Great Again and Footwork. So on your screen, you will see Footwork is the red team, and they brought the Tristan, Algos, Caragol, Ferox, and Apoc all at 50 kilometers. Ithaca, what can you tell us about Make Amarr Great Again?
Well, the match is just starting now, and the Make Margaret team coming in pretty much at zero, although they do have that Punisher and the Tower are sitting at the back, so they just kind of do a little bit of screening there. Um, maybe maybe a bit of a strange decision to bring them in at the back, to be honest, if you're going to do screening, because they are rushing all up now together. The Mauler come flying in, the Talwyn are peeling off to the side, and that Scorpion just slowly trundling up as we see jam effects being applied across the board to the Footwork team.
Yep, and those jam effects on the screen are actually jam attempts. They don't dictate success or failure. And we watched the tower just get instantly volleyed off the field. I believe he was trying to get transversal, but I don't think it was enough.
Yeah, so with the loss of that tower and now that Harbinger taking a lot of fire, there's still not that much damage being applied to the Footwork team. That APOC is dropping some armor a little bit, but he's not too concerned. Although he has just been tackled by the Mauler of the Make My Great Again team now, so that is a bit of a big deal because as that Mauler gets in and just starts to lock him down, he's going to be able to get under the guns of that APOC and just that Mauler does a surprising amount of damage, to be honest.
Yeah, and it's interesting because they're focusing on the APOC, so obviously the biggest DPS ship first. And I do believe, is that a tracking disruptor icon? So I wonder, they actually do, I believe, have tracking disruptor drones on this APOC. So they did not bring any EWAR, but they do have EWAR drones, which is perfectly acceptable. I'm not quite sure how strong those are, but I find that very interesting. This harbinger of the mix.
Looks like we're about to see a trade here. That Harbinger now down for the Make It Margaret team, although they might be able to trade it for that APOC. Could be a good trade if they can finish that off. The Scorpion, if it's able to jam out some of the other Footwork team and just get that little bit of DPS on it. He is trundling up after it, but he is very, very slow. It just needs to overheat and get as much damage down on this APOC. If they can remove that from the field, as just the snowball effect of those jams from that Scorpion will just make it that little bit easier long enough to win. But I just don't know if they have the DPS. That APOC is just so slowly going down, and I think he's going to survive. And then the Punisher dies.
Yeah, so all that Make Amarr Great Again has left is the Mauler and the Scorpion, and I think we're kind of seeing what Elise was hinting at, that you have to rely on luck of those jams landing. Because I believe the Scorpion had both the Ferox and the Carrick at least attempted jam, but I don't know if it actually worked with how quickly his team is dying.
Yeah, so now we just got, everybody's sitting in a ball now, and really, Make Amarr Great Again, looks like they're going to do it. They need to kill that APOC just to get to avoid a domination loss, which would give the Footwork team 4 points rather than the standard 3. But they've managed to do that, so they've gone down fighting. They've got at least one kill. Amarr has not been made great again this time, but there'll be plenty more chances for him this season. And then the Mauler goes down, leaving just that Scorpion to just try and jam everybody and survive as long as he can.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of glad that Footwork won. I absolutely dislike ECM, so it's good to see ECM boats dying and losing. And I'm kind of glad they saved him for last, just to show how much it was almost like the disrespect. Like they thought he was just an afterthought. Like, oh yeah, we know you're ECM and we know we should probably primer you, but we're not going to.
So I really enjoy the quote on the Scorpion, not Scorpion, the Chameleon description that says, some capture leaders say ECM is dishonorable. Jam them first, kill them last. I think that really sums up ECM. There's nothing else quite like when you jam somebody the entire match and they just the rage coming from them sometimes is palpable.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting because while they do have a Scorpion and when you're jammed you can't block anything, if so say he actually did get jams off, the Footwork team actually is able to use drones and could still potentially use drones without being able to obviously target an opponent. So whether they be rep bots or DPS drones or even the EWAR drones, they'd be able to still use those while jammed, which is a good strategy when going against ECM ships.
Yeah, so it's worth noting that Dinesh Ganesh in the Scorpion, he wants to try and kill some stuff before he goes down or before this match ends. Just get points because they do matter. He does get more points for his team in the event of a win-loss tie. They look at ships destroyed and then ships. So if he manages to kill his Algos, which is just hanging on in sort of half hull, then he does get a little bit more points for his team.
Okay. I was gonna say it did look like he didn't have any DPS because his attack bar was completely gone, and now it's there, but it's completely gray, which shows that he's not actually attacking anything. So I wonder if people were either shooting his drones or he burned out his guns or what was going on.
Yeah, I mean, this point, he's into Hull. He's although that Algos is dropping again, so whatever was hitting that Algos, it's now a race. Can he kill that Algos before he dies himself? I think he can. That's a couple points. There you go. They're slightly greater than they were before.
Yeah, and I would say the Scorpion's not taking any damage anymore, so I wonder if his jams actually went off and he was able just to kind of clean up some of these little ships like the Algos, maybe going for the Tristan next.
Yes, it looks like the Scorpion actually managed to MJD out of there, so he clearly wasn't scrammed. He's jumped across the field, probably out of DPS range of a lot of stuff, although that Feryx is going to be able to just hit him pretty well now, to be honest. The Feryx is at range. If you can keep that Feryx jammed and just slowly work on the rest of them, the Scorpion is worth more points than anything else on the field, not combined. So if he's able to kill the Tristan and the Caracal, then he would actually win on points.
Yeah,
Although he is very, very low hull, and I'd be very impressed if he does that.
Yeah, he is working away at the Caracal, which I think would make the points even. Ferox is 4. Oh, now he's down. All right.
Never mind.
Victory to Footwork, and we'll send it back to the studio.